Previously on Unranked.
We have a head-to-head. It was play Team Slayer and take your kill count and negate your death count from it, and whoever has the highest score. Chris asked me why. He was like, I'm surprised that you picked Halo, like a Halo thing.
Yes.
I wanted to see if I challenged myself. Because I just play this game with you guys, and sometimes we do well, but a lot of the time there's a lot of just like we're talking. I'm not fully engaged with the game, so
Sure.
I wanted to see how I would perform like under duress. Like I'm actually trying to play well. So yeah, I actually had a ton of fun playing this, and I'm very curious as to how we all did.
Wow.
What is Tuna?
17-6.
Oh my god.
17-6. Damn.
What did you guys get?
16-5. We tied.
Oh,
shit.
Well, so what do we do for the tiebreak here? Do Tuna and I reattempt, and next week we bring our best again?
Oh, wow.
I like that. I like that.
We only have 1 week.
All right.
Do you want now? I
Yeah,
thought
that's
maybe
fine.
we'd do a modifier of half assists, half points.
Okay, so next week, if we tie again, we look at assists. I got food in my mouth. Someone else do it.
Tom.
I thought that was still part of the previously on because that was the start of
I
last
think that's what happened last week too.
It was.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 412 of the
That wasn't
Unranked
supposed to be that.
podcast. I am Tom Caswell, joined by Tuna, Marinello, and Christian Humes.
Wait a
What's up,
second,
guys?
Chris. Are you saying that the audio on the previously on is what said somebody do it, or did you say that now?
No. That was from the previously.
Wait, so did you have food in your mouth just now or no?
No.
Oh,
No, he didn't.
I'm putting my teeth in.
oh no, Tuna, your audio. Speak, Tuna.
Hello.
What?
I mean,
It sounds fine to
better.
me.
It sounds better now, but a moment ago it sounded.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Maybe
robotic.
it's just.
All right, let's see how it goes. What's up? How's everyone doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. I feel like we've been getting a lot more game time in lately. So it doesn't always feel anymore like it was much more rare, I think, the last couple of years, other than early lockdown days, to get anywhere near this much game time in. It's usually like, it's 7 days since we've talked to each other, like other than through text. And now we've been playing a lot of games.
We play games at least one session a week, I think. If not
Close
more.
to it. I mean, Tuna and I, when we're doing mini golf or VR or escape, because we've lunch most days.
Tea time, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whenever I first put these back in, I don't know what it is, but my lisp is so much stronger for the first hour or so.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's whenever I have to pause, because I always eat right before this. I'm doing the intermittent fasting again, and so I usually eat for the first time at 12, and then I'm basically done by 6, which is why sometimes recently I was like, I have to eat at the start of this because I didn't have my food yet.
It's a long time to eat, 6 hours. Just straight eating. You start at 12, you end at 6. It's a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not eating straight. That's the only window in the day I'm allowed to eat. Because I'm basically just doing lunch and dinner. I'm not doing breakfast, which waiting till 12 for my coffee kind of sucks, especially when I'm making one prior for Therese. So I go and I make a coffee and I want one so bad.
You can't even have coffee?
Not the way that I would like to make it. I guess if I had drip black coffee, I could, but you're not supposed to consume calories outside of the.
But if you go off by just a couple, it's
by a couple would be fine. So they say Spindrift, seltzer is fine because it's not a bunch of added sugars and stuff.
okay.
But coffee, it's if you want to drink a espresso shot straight, but I'm not really at that point yet. You know,
Of
I want it with
desperation.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'll drink it if I'm gonna drink the most. The most I would do is like like an Americano, like where you do
Yeah, of
the
course.
espresso into the water and then some cream. That's more like coffee. But I mostly make lattes. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
or
I've had your coffee, man.
cortaditos.
Very.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but definitely a little bit more calorific than black coffee for sure. But
Yeah. I don't drink black coffee though.
I'm proud of you. Waiting till noon for a coffee or even like any kind of
Ugh.
caffeinated thing that would be tough.
It is, especially because I start around like 7, 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's when I
Damn.
so
Damn.
so. You guys want to hop into this week's Pokemon?
We should.
Sure.
All right. Well, it's our 412th Pokemon. We have left the fossils behind, and we are moving into some bug territory. And I've got to say, Burmy at first glance is a shit bug Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then you go on, you start reading its Burmy, start looking at those details. Gets very interesting. Alex, before we go further on this sort of conch shell leaf that it kind of looks like,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us where its name comes from?
Sure. So Burmy, name origin. Wow, this thing has got a ton of trivia. I've never seen a trivia this like huge.
Dude, the more I read about the Pokemon today, I was like, oh wow, this just went from shit Pokemon to real contender.
So Burmy may be a combination of bag or bug and worm with a diminutive. Why?
What just happened there?
That was me looking at the word, knowing what it is, but not being too sure that I knew what it was. And then realizing I'm on a podcast that's being recorded. So
you got to speed it up.
So there you go. Yeah.
So
but
I mean,
like, I've never
the
seen
bagworm's
this.
cool.
Yeah, but if you look in the trivia section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th bullet point, it says prior to Generation 6, Burmy's shape was, and there's like this like snake looking thing.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing.
Yeah. It's
I've never seen
cool.
that in the trivia section.
It's cool.
The trivia section banging.
This guy's got a lot of trivia. And also, by the way, just the basic, like, what's it going to evolve into and kind of stuff, like it and its design is so cool because it does look like, if you look at the plant cloak version of it, there's 3 different versions of it based on the environment of its last battle. So it's not like a EV situation where you're going to have like, 3 different versions of the same Pokemon with slightly different typings. These are like 3 different designs that are all based off what you just played. So if your Pokemon's going to change its design while you're still using it, which is like pretty cool to get to like see the different variants.
Yeah. I love the trivia fact. Although Burmy has been confirmed to have feet, it does not have a footprint. This is a Tolkien elf of a Pokemon here, not leaving footprints behind. That's wild.
There was only one pair of footprints. The same.
It's one of those things where it both has a lot going for it and simultaneously almost nothing going for it, because as cool as all of these facts are, and I find it neat when I come across it in a game. I'm like, oh, it's this version, or oh, it's that version. But that being said, I'm not gonna fuck with this Pokemon, in my party.
Yeah.
No,
So it's a mixed bag. It's a big old mixed bag, this one.
Well, so one thing that's fun about it, though, for me is, there are a lot with I think the bug Pokemon sometimes, along with the grass Pokemon, sometimes feel like we're doing too many iterations of the same thing. And I think this did a good job, at least, of you have those 3 different designs that it can look like, but then when it evolves, there's also 2 different versions. And you don't have to do anything special. It's just if you have a male Burmy or a female Burmy, you're getting one of 2 different Pokemon, and one is a moth and the other one is very much not a moth and looks like just like what you would think an evolved version of this would look like.
And then that's the female one, and then that also has 3
Yep.
variations as well.
And those variations also change the typing. It's not like just
Yeah.
cosmetics. So, and they're like really different. We're getting like either ground, flying, steel, grass, like a lot of different combinations. That is fucking cool.
It is cool.
Well, it is cool, but it couldn't have happened to a more useless Pokemon. Never is in your party.
Yes. If this was Shinx,
Oh.
top of the
Oh,
list,
God.
but
Oh, Jesus Christ.
but it's not. So
No.
where are we ranking him? Oh, you want to do a Pokedex entry?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just pulling up the ranking.
No, you could.
Yeah, it's fine.
It thinks it's in the Traitors. It covers itself with a cloak to shelter from the cold. When it's hot, its cloak is thinner.
Okay.
I have an opening bid based on the list. I think it goes under Rampardos, number 19. So
Did you say over or under?
Under. So you got Bibarel, Budew, Bidoof, Starly, Kricketot, Kricketune, and Staravia. So that's what would be under.
I think we got to bump those numbers up a little bit.
Okay.
I think we got to pump those numbers up a little bit. What does Tuna think?
Hold on. Let me go to the list.
I don't want to, push too hard.
You think it should go? You think it should go? Wait, hold on a second. You think it should go number 19? You think it's a Chris, and you think it should go even higher than that?
Yeah.
What?
Just based on all the trivia. Just based on all the trivia and the multiple designs and the way and the multiple evolutions.
I know, but you're pushing it really close to Shinx, and I feel like that's such a disrespect. It's not respectful to Shinx as a character.
Yeah. I think I would put it up 1.
Oh.
Maybe 2. I don't think it's better than Shinx.
I could put it between, but putting it too close to Shinx is just guilty by association.
But we weren't talking about all the trivia with Shinx. We weren't talking about like the different typings, the evolutions.
Cool, and Shinx is in your party.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
So Chris,
this
is into your party.
This is one of the most interesting Pokemon we've talked about. So it has like a uniqueness that I think a lot of the other Pokemon didn't have.
Hold on, Starly. Let me just look at what Starly.
I mean, you said it yourself. You said I've never seen a trivia section like this.
I did, but that doesn't mean.
Yeah, I also think some of those facts are. It's got some cool facts. I think that the variations, its evolutions, and all of that. But the evolutions again.
I think above Rampardos. I think is way better than Bidoof.
No, I was saying Budew.
Oh, well, yeah. Then by association, it would have to be better than yeah.
I'm fine going below Rampardos. It sounds like Alex wants it actually below Rampardos, like much farther.
It sounds like Tuna wants it at the very bottom.
No, but I would say he's in the Kricketot, Starly, Bidoof area.
Well, that's why I just put him at the top of all that.
He's definitely, I think, better than Kricketune.
Fine, I'd put him below Staravia for sure.
All right, man. Sure. I feel like the Pokemon's background and history, its bio, has very little weight in this conversation.
I think that's fair though. I think at the end of the day, it's power level and like it's weighted, right? It's kind of like college admission. You got a bunch of factors, and some things are more important than others.
Wow. Man, if Wormadam, I'll tell you right now, it's got 2 evolutions. They're going to be below it because the evolutions are, just,
and
definitely not.
And that's fine. Yeah. You got for you to break the top 20. You got to be fucking something special.
All right, so where are we putting this?
I thought we were just putting it around the Staravia areas.
Well, why don't we put it above Star? Why don't we put it where I said, because that cuts the difference between the two of you.
Sure.
So that's
19. So it bumps. It's under Rampardos. Kicks everything.
Okay.
Out. Yeah.
I I mean, I was gonna put it above No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't gonna put it above Shanks, but I was thinking maybe it should only be right below Shanks. But I think I'm just too wowed by the information in front of me at the moment.
How too wow.
You know? Because it's not, you're
Amazing.
right. There's two things. There's two factors where it's not doing well. It's neither going to be in your party, nor is it going to be
I mean,
nor is it a great design or anything.
I just think that half of these it's got a lot of facts. But
Yeah.
for example, Burmy and Wormadam share the category with Pineco and Forretress. They are known as the backbone Pokemon, like useless fact. Burmy is the only Pokemon with a base stat of 224. It's got the footprint fact.
That's great.
You've only one of the 3 variants has been seen in the anime, so that's kind of interesting.
All right.
But like Burmy's Pokedex color has changed between generations. Useless. So it's more of a mixed bag, I think.
Sure.
First you look at it, you're like, whoa. And then you make your way through. And anyway.
All right, Burmy, number 19. There we go.
Still made it to the top 20.
He's lucky he's in the for now.
We should have done this a long time ago. This makes the Pokedex entries much more fun. I wish we should have kept that. We should have come up with this sooner. What's been going on?
Yeah, we didn't know.
What's been happening? What's been going on?
What's been going on?
What's been going on? Nothing really over here. Nothing too much over here. Just working, playing some games. I made some major progress in Prince of Persia.
Hell yeah,
Lost
you did.
Crown. Great game. Fantastic game. I've encountered, I don't know if it could be the Switch version. I've encountered a little bug, a bug or two with the audio. Sometimes I will go into a different area and either the sound effects will cut or the music will cut or a combination of the two. Which is interesting.
I have
I have not encountered like bugs in a video game that I noticed.
Ubisoft is notorious for having audio bugs specifically. Assassin's Creed games, you'll notice them like throughout. And I do have an audio issue. So I'm not playing on Switch, but I'm playing on a PC handheld. And if I don't quit the game and I just like put the thing to sleep and I like then awaken it again to jump back in, sometimes there will be no audio and I have to restart the game. That is an Ubisoft staple. Yeah,
that is an Uber. Other than that, though, game's great. It's a fantastic game. I'm having a lot of fun. But there are two things, though. Okay, number one, the game is hard. Okay, that's number one. And number two, some of the platforming is really fucking hard.
Yeah,
and is unforgiving. And if you fuck up, you go back to the start of the section. And the amount of times that I've been like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't hit it, but the hitbox did, and fuck yourself, and I'm not playing this game anymore. But then, of course, I pick it up again and play it.
I love the fact that if there's like collectibles in a platforming section, like, you know, you got to pick up a medal, it won't actually catch it. Like, it won't count.
Yeah, it's like Ori
completed it. I
you
love
have
that.
to get back.
I'm like, fuck.
You have to get back to where you started.
It's the exact same system Ori had, I think, right?
It's a good system.
I can't remember.
It's not just like you kill yourself and you got it. It's like, no, you have to survive. The only thing I would say is that I really think that the parry system is off. I don't know if it's the Switch version. I don't know if it could be me. But like, I feel like I'm hitting the button to parry and it doesn't always connect. I feel like I have to hit it like
some of the moves are unparryable
before,
right?
Yeah, Tom.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Tom.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot.
Okay.
So on the moves that are parryable, right? I feel like I have to press the button like, I'm not kidding, like a couple milliseconds before I would if I was going to be perfect. Like it doesn't parry exactly when the person hits you. That's just my experience. Maybe I'm bad, but I don't think I am because I'm pretty good at parrying in God of War, unless that was parrying for babies. And this is like real parrying. I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't always connect when I think it should. Other than that, though, great game. Good story too, actually. Good story. Good story on the game.
Story's cool, yeah.
Yeah, I keep saying the only thing. But the other problem I have with these kinds of games that kind of, it's the same thing that happened with me in Ori, and it's the same thing that happened in Metroid, is that I'm like, oh wait, I do kind of want to go back to this area. Not my favorite thing in the world. So other than that, though, other than those 5 things that I just mentioned,
Yeah, right.
Great game. Having a lot of fun. I'm addicted to it, so there you go.
Yeah, I've played. I'm probably halfway through. I think I only have 2 more time powers to unlock, and yeah, it might be a Switch thing with the parry, because personally, I think that this is one of the best parry timings. When I miss it,
Oh,
I feel.
Wait. Where are you? And where are you, Alex, in the game?
I'm further than Tom for sure.
Okay, so
I
Tom,
don't know if I wanna spoil anything.
what is your current goal, Tom?
I still have 2 feathers to find.
How do you know that?
Because
I think it says it.
yeah, you meet a character and they're like,
He tells you
to
there's
get to this next thing, you have to get all of the powers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I have 2 left. I just left the sunken harbor, and I'm coming up from the bottom into like a forest area, I think is where I'm at.
So I think Alex actually, he's like not even close to. It sounds like he has like 6 more powers to get.
You have a lot more to do, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
yeah.
go.
There it is.
Alex, of the next thing that you have to do. Tom, start that beeper. Of the next of the next thing, that the stage that takes place after what Tom was talking about.
I already did it.
Oh, okay. So you're beyond that. Okay, so you've seen, Tom, there's a teaser. You have seen.
I'm good on the spoilers. It's Tuna.
I mean, this is. I'm not saying a word. Chris is the one talking. I'm just answering.
I think one of the quests that you're gonna come up on, you're gonna have to like do a thing, go to a place. That's what the whole game is.
Do a thing, go to a place.
That area, I think, is one of my favorite all-time gaming set pieces. That was one of the one that was on the bottom right, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I
know which one it is.
That one. That was
great.
I think one of the greatest gaming set pieces I've ever seen. It does look cool. It was Tom. It's so cool. The visuals, the world is amazing. Oh, which was great because, by the way, there is like I think, in my opinion, I felt the worst part of the game, which is when you're just like in the fucking sewers and underground for a long time.
Oh, well,
that to me was like the biggest lull in the game. I just didn't like the environment though.
I'm like, that's all in the past. Yeah, the sewers for sure was like, but there was some cool design. There was some cool like things I had to fight in there, and some of the, I'm kind of taken aback when some of the, they'll throw a new like henchman, grunt at you, whatever, and it will do something that I'm not expecting, and like it will really kind of like take, oh my god, like I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, I mean, but in terms of the parry though, I don't know. I think it's dead on. But so it might be a Switch thing.
Yeah,
it would make sense.
I'll be honest with you, like at a certain point, some of the bosses get so hard. Tom, you have that like phase ability, like the teleportation one. Yeah. That was a risk, but it felt confident based on where he said he was.
That was
because
risky.
I think you get that when you go to the sewer. So if he's already come up and out, then he.
But that was definitely risky. There was a risk there on that.
I had to start to learn to use like in combat a lot, like for like the bosses, because sometimes like some of the bosses are so hard that like you can't like even avoid stuff. Like I wasn't using it much for that though. I'll say, God, you're gonna get some really fucking cool abilities in this game. I beat it, by the way, for the listeners. I did not put as much time into this week's Halo challenge because I could not. I could not stop playing.
Excuses already?
Could not stop playing. Excuses already?
You don't know. I might have sucked. You have no idea what I had. What I did.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think there's a very good chance it's going to be on my top 10 at the end of the year. This could be a game of the year, which seems nuts because I feel like no one was
Any other year it
really,
wouldn't have been there.
yeah, no one was really saying anything about it either. Like it just kind of, like I knew it was coming, but I don't know if I had any confidence in like a new Prince of Persia game. But man, the
I think the timing
platforming.
just sucks with Palworld blowing up like it has. Like, it's just there's no room
Yeah.
in the. It's like either Palworld or it's all the layoff stuff. Like, there's no room for conversation about Prince
I
of
can't
Persia
believe
right now.
Palworld, like it's like a meme game. It's like a meme token. Like
Yeah,
I
it
feel
feels
like
like it.
it started.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I've played it. I played quite a bit of it for work because we're going all in on it because of how popular it's been. And initially, for sure, it does
Mhm.
feel like a meme game. But I will say it's like mechanically very solid. And I think I'm not a survival game guy, right? Like any of those, I want to be like I want to get into things like Fallout 76. Like when that came out, I was super trying to get into that. But this, I think, is the most accessible, and then it marrying with the Pokemon of it all is like a really good blend. I just think it really smartly. It's rough around the edges. It's an early access, right? But I think it very smartly picks just some of the best mechanics from like 4 or 5 different games and marries them very well together. So it's it initially, I think it's one of those things where it's like come for the meme but stay for the actual gameplay. And I think like that's why it's been so successful, is because it's at the end of the day, it's actually a pretty solid game.
Okay.
No.
If you say so.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. So Prince Persia, the platforming is unbelievable. I think it's really, really good, and some of it is tough as nails. I actually got to one that it was the first one that I didn't sit there and just try and get through it. Like I've always, every time I get one, I complete it. But I got one that I was like, I'm gonna come back to this. So now I am trying to decide if I'm gonna 100% it or not, because I really want to do the platforming challenges. But
Okay, have you gotten to
I didn't
the
leave
challenge?
icons anywhere. Yes, I've gotten to. Yeah, I was.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I've tried it and I got one.
Yeah.
I didn't get, and I thought, I was like, oh, good. I'll come back.
Yeah. So you're
No,
very close to the end of the game.
I am.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that which is, by the way, why I was like, I'm just gonna go beat the game before, and then if I decide to finish it, I'm gonna come back to this. But I didn't mark anywhere on the map where like I was finding the
I did.
the like slates, or like where I got into like fights where like there's like, oh, you have to like find my 8 warriors and defeat them, like side quests.
Right.
So I'm missing one. Like I have 7 out of 8 of those guys. And then I'm missing like 13 of those like sand pots that are hidden around the world.
I've been breaking sand pots left and right. I only have 4 left.
So, but since I didn't mark anything up, I did notice there's like a glyph that'll tell you in the map, like how many are left in each zone. But the annoying thing is, if I was like, all right, just for these last couple things, I'll look up a map online where everything is. I don't know which ones I've gotten, and I've gotten most of them. And the idea of following a guide and just blindly going one at a time.
What is this? 1999. Go on.
I didn't think about it. I waited too long to start marking stuff off. I felt like a fool. I also, by the way, never used that memory feature. Did either of you guys use that memory feature?
Here and there.
Only when I wanted to mark something like that, like, oh, there's a puzzle here that I'm gonna not do right now that I'm just going to come back to, or an area where I noticed that I needed an upgraded ability, or I needed a ability I don't have. So I took the picture reminding myself, well, when you get the ability, go over here, because I'm going through the area, because like these games do that, right? Like you go through it a whole area with a new ability, and then there's another area that you could get to if you had a different ability, and you're like, I don't have that ability yet, but am I going to really come back here? And then you go back there and it's the prize is a coin, and you're like, all right, fine, I'll take it. But
It's really good. It's a really, really good game. Yeah, it's great. I love it. So speaking of this game possibly being on end of the year lists, where it currently falls in the games I played this year is at the top of my list. So it's currently my game of the year, followed by Dusant, Escape Academy, Lego Builder's Journey, and then Vader Immortal. Those are my top 5 right now. I have 6 on there.
So you're just including all games you've played, not just stuff that's
No,
released.
I'm not. Anything that is new to me this year, but like I'm not going to put Halo on here. I'm not going to put on Walkabout Mini Golf.
Right, but you're right. I understand.
Any new games that I play in 2024. Yes. Any new games that I play in 2024. Because honestly, with the way video games work now and the way they're supported for years, like it's kind of dumb to look at it any other way, almost, as far as like what games are new to you. It's like game shelf lives don't feel as short anymore, because also there's so many games that everyone has a backlog, you know?
Sure.
It's like you can't get to everything anymore.
Yeah,
like when we were younger, no one was like playing, new games every week or sometimes multiple. Like that was It was like you were looking at like a handful of tentpole games a year that most people were getting, and that was
that's
it.
why that's I think an argument in the fact that games have a shorter lifespan now is because it was Mario 64 was the only game anyone was playing for years. Metal Gear Solid was the only game people were playing for years, and now it's like you're getting one of those a week sometimes too. I would have loved to have gotten back around to more Prince of Persia. I wish it was the only thing I was playing, but like I said, tons of Palworld, which I very much enjoying it. It has some Breath of the Wild in there. It's obviously got Pokemon. You've got Ark Survival Evolved, all the survival mechanics. It's solid, and because it's built in Unreal 5, it works pretty well from the jump. I mean, it's definitely janky, but it's less janky, honestly, than a lot of other early access games that I've played before. And I can totally, I mean, it's part of I don't think this game would have taken the world by storm if it had been bad. Like if it had been like the day before, which launched in last year, and that was a meme game and it bombed, right? But on top of Palworld, I have played a ton of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is the new Yakuza game, which is now retitled to Like a Dragon to match its Japanese naming format. And I've never played one before. I've tried since they came to Game Pass and stuff. I try to boot them up, and it's just very daunting because they're all massive RPGs and there's like 10 of them. And I was very surprised as to how easy I found to get into this one. It is a turn-based game, but the cool thing is that when you're in combat, you can move in an area, right? So you have some movement, and you can line up your attack to either knock an enemy into another enemy, knock them into one of your other team members so they can get in a quick hit as well. Line them up if you have line enemies up if you have an attack that goes through multiple enemies, pick up weapons, stuff like that. So it's just another game that has come out recently that is turn-based but has a lot of activity to it, which I'm happy about. And I heard that the previous one didn't have any of that, so I'm glad that this one does. But man, it's such a charming game. These characters in these games are so inspirational. It's wacky, but it also feels really grounded because it's focusing around really like subjects that hit close to home, like the world is ruined by capitalism and I'm out of a job, and but it does it in this like wacky world. And I really appreciate all of the mini games. There's a mini game in this one that's called Crazy Eats. You are basically an Uber Eats delivery person, but it's Crazy Taxi at the same time. So you have to you ride a bike, you're on a bike, but you have to do like tricks to boost your score and then like make deliveries as you do that. there's a whole Pokemon mini game. This is when it gets really weird. So it's called Sujimon, and Sujimon are the name is like a name for a creep, right? Because a lot of the enemies you're facing, you're just running around the streets of Hawaii. This game is set in Hawaii. You're running around the streets of Hawaii, and you'll just run into people and brawl, and they'll be like, there's one where we had to go into the sewers, and there was like a homeless encampment, and there were people in sleeping bags, but they were like zipped all the way, so it was just their face popping out of the hole. And when they entered into combat, they were standing up in the sleeping bag, and it was like they were a worm, and they had like a string shot attack. So Sujimon is the name of like all these weirdos and creeps that you're fighting, but you can collect them, funnily enough, and actually like have like Pokemon battles with people by like having these people come fight at your side. I'm about halfway through the game, based on how many chapters there are, and there's still like I haven't unlocked the Animal Crossing mini game bit yet either. But if you're someone who's been interested in these games before and has been again found it too daunting to jump in, I haven't had any problem following the story. The emotional beats that have been happening in the game have hit me. And, it isn't like, oh, I don't know who this character is, so this isn't affecting me. I'm sure if
where did they hit you, Tom?
in the fields, right in the fields.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's some moments for sure. And it's also a game about redemption. So many of like the characters in the party like start out as like antagonists to you, and it's amazing that someone who I thought, oh, this is such a scumbag, like I wish like I could just kill them, and then like, oh no, now we're best buds. So it's a fantastic game, and I would have played more of that as well if this fucking stupid Palworld game hadn't come out. But those are the games I've been playing this last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm actually interested in that game. So I don't know. I've never played one though. I think
you'll
concern there,
You have to get over the fact that, especially in the beginning, it's the
we lost your audio there, Thomas.
Yeah.
I accidentally tapped the mute button.
I have to get past what?
You have to get past the fact that there are so many cutscenes, which are great, and the story is excellent and engaging, but you just want to get going, and there's another cutscene. Then it's like, oh, run down the street. Here's another 5-minute cutscene. So you have to get past that.
Okay.
And then I think if you can kind of make your peace with that, that's really the only roadblock. You're gonna understand the story from the beginning. It even gives you opportunities when you are encountered with something that is referring to something in the past. It'll pop up and be like, do you want to reminisce on this, and get like the background info on what this is, or do you just want to skip past it? So, and I don't think you'll be lost. It'll just be, there's a bit of getting used to it. It's not Prince of Persia where it's throw you in, do the puzzle, do the combat. You are watching a lot of this game is just watching. But if you can make peace with that, I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit, especially because of honestly, obviously how much you love Hawaii, like the way that they've recreated this. It's not like technically like visually rendered like like a plate like Spider-Man, but the detail that they've put into the world makes up for so much of that in a lot of ways this is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, simply because it feels like I am on the streets of Honolulu. Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Hell yeah. Visually, how's Hawaii looking? It's nice.
Oh, it's looking beautiful. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it is visually very good, but it's
good.
The detail is the thing that brings it, makes it really
All
pop.
Right. I may or may not play this game.
Right.
We'll see. I just sent you a note. I feel like
I updated already.
Oh, okay, cool. If we just do this on the pod, and Tom, you don't have to put every game you play on there, but then I think as you any games you talk about on the podcast,
I think he should put it to show the disparity between what we play and what he plays.
Wow.
Actually, no, where you'll be middle of the road, he'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, and then I'll be like, boop. So I think
Are
it'd be
you
a nice little
ranking these?
visual.
Are we ranking
No,
these?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't
As
rank.
oh no, I'm
Oh,
live.
you're ranking them.
So what I'm doing is I'm
Oh,
live
God.
ranking it. So just like the Pokemon, every time I add a new game, I'm going to in that moment rank it, and then at the end of the year, I will decide if I want to shuffle anything around. I will come back to it. But
Okay,
in the
I like
moment,
it.
it's my rank, and wherever it is, just like the Pokemon, we can't reorder it till the end of the year. When we do the end of the year, we're like, all right, let's now see what our top 10s were, and then we thought about it again. What are they now? And then we have an interesting way to talk about that in a short, quick way that's like kind of fun, and to see it go through the year. It'll be funny coming up on the end of the year. It's like, oh, here it is, game of the year, done.
We don't have to like think about it. It's done.
Yeah. Done.
Awesome.
I think that could be fun. We're just basically this year we're introducing ranking to
to the ranked
To
podcast.
unranked.
right. We're ranking the Pokemon. We're ranking all the games we play. We are ranking ourselves against one another in challenges.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
New direction.
We played some Walkabout mini golf this week.
Yep.
We did. We did. That we did.
New course came out. Tuna and I went immediately. We got the balls. We got the club for the new Around the World in 80 Days. I think we talked about the design a little last week, but man, I think this is maybe this is a top 5 course for me.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I think it's a great course. It's a lot of fun. The holes there's no gimmicks.
Nope.
It's just a straight up mini golf course with in an interesting setting, and it's a lot of fun.
And it's all like geometry, the gimmicks, I guess, because there's some moving stuff, but it's not, no portals, no
gravity wells. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
What'd you think of it, Tom? Because you got to play through both. We went back to back full 18s.
I liked it a lot. I think that I loved the design of it. The vibes are on point. It had some really great holes. There are a couple. The final hole on the hardest one, which is basically just like you got to lob it, like you have to get it really out there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun ones.
On like that giant green. That green's huge.
Yeah, I don't know if it might be a top 5 for me. I think like I like the lab. There's quite a few.
Laser Lair is in my top 5.
Laser Lair is probably up there as well. Yeah, I liked it a lot. The God mode, seeing the tower. Like I'm honestly stunned at how good this game looks, especially in that like and knowing the size of the team and how quickly they put these together. He was talking about how when we interviewed him in Unranked 400, talking about like how they're very nimble, they're able to put stuff together pretty quickly. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, your design team has to be like S tier to make something like this. And, it isn't just like, it's not cheating. It's not a different model. Like, it's the model that you're in, right? Because we can see other people moving around. So to be able to design it, make the holes, design it within this framework, and then have it look and feel the way that it does, like, it's remarkable that they're able to pull this off, honestly.
Best game ever made.
I think it's up there.
Top of the list, baby.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Yeah. So have they announced what the next thing is? Do we know?
We don't know if it's for sure the next one, but they do have the coming soon on the Evil Lairs pack. So that's the only one we know as far as I'm aware. Which I think they've always had 3 or 4. Like that was I think the plan was like so that they could release. They said they want to release 6 to 8 weeks every new map. So I bet we'll find out pretty soon.
I love this map. I love this course. I think it's gorgeous. Gorge. And it's such a great, it's like you're in the Eiffel Tower airport, fantasy, but the way that the holes are designed, and you go from the ticket to baggage to the gates to the sky cafe is really cool. It's a really really cool idea. Like,
That's
good
true.
on
If
you.
you like
Good
Zeppelins,
on
if
you.
you're a big blimp guy,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of like a blimp airport is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool. Ah, the real world would be a lot cooler if they did that stuff.
Yeah. Like, I think right, the Empire State Building was supposed to be a Zeppelin airport.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. That was I think
Oh,
a plan
really?
at one point or
Interesting.
another.
I think so. I don't think I made that up.
Or a pitch or something. Or it's
Yeah.
folklore. Who
Something.
knows?
Or it's bullshit.
Oh, this is bullshit. Like the
Yeah.
hairy Chinese kid.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Um,
That's gonna be weird out of context.
I know. That's why I said it. Only very few people are gonna get that joke. Anything else? Watch anything? I tried to start Traitors, the
Okay.
UK one. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but Brooke and I watched the trailer for it, and we both got big brother vibes, which we're not about from the trailer, at least. It just didn't.
You
It
want
didn't.
the UK trailer?
Yeah.
What are you
Interesting.
talking
Big
about?
Brother?
Wait, I need to hold on. I need to.
How do you not just get the mole vibes? How do you get
I
Big
did not,
Brother?
because it was a lot of people yelling at each other.
So you guys don't like people yelling at each other? Is that what you're saying?
No, but the trailer was just like all of these people in this house sitting around a table yelling at each other.
Well,
It was
okay,
like
so the thing
50% of the
is,
trailer.
the game, the meat of the game and the best part of the show is the round table discussion. That is what you're there for. It's basically like tribal council, except like fucking heated tribal council. And it's not like Big Brother where there's like drama where people are arguing each other. It's like the most fucking werewolf game on steroids you've ever seen, where people are like legitimately like, they're playing for money, for life-changing money for most of them. So like it gets fucking real fast in the at the round table.
Yeah, I think I did get the vibe. Go ahead.
Well, no, because I'm gonna. You say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say, like, when we put the trailer on, I was like, hasn't sold me on it. We're not gonna jump into it now. I think at least I will get around to watching it because you guys enjoy it so much, and that eventually what happens.
Why would you just watch the trailer? Why wouldn't you just watch the first episode?
Because we were looking for something to watch, and it was like, do we want to continue watching Bob's Burgers because we're behind on that, or do we want to watch this new thing? And so we put the trailer on to see if we wanted to watch it. And when we watched the trailer, it made.
So what do you? So my question is, what do you have against Big Brother? What's your problem with Big Brother?
At least. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where that show started 20 years ago. I don't know when the American one came out versus the UK one, but we have our own Big Brother, so that is the one I'm more familiar with. Okay. And it was just so trashy. And there wasn't like, again, at least from my knowledge of it, it might be a different show now. It might not even have been that show because I was so young when it came out. But it was just like conceited drama for the sake of drama. And it's these and I still see it in the you watch The Love Is Blind. Like, I can't stomach that show. I can't stomach this shit.
It is. I think Big Brother is like the biggest crossover between like game show and reality TV,
right?
Like, but like reality TV and the like, there's no cash prize. Like, it feels like real world.
Yeah, I was never like real world at all.
I was never a fan of that.
When was the last time you guys watched Big Brother?
So I tried watching it again this summer. I watched it like when I was young, when it was brand new, and I had to download Real Player, and you could watch the 24-hour live stream on your
amazing. Real Player, holy shit, what a throwback.
It was like on dial-up, by the way, so like the quality of this postage stamp size image was
maybe 240p.
It was so bad.
240p.
It was so bad, but yeah, I just couldn't get it because it does feel like, I mean, it feels like a lot of the problems that I have with the US version of Traitors where it's reality stars. Like there is just a lot of like I found all the people so performative. Like it feels like everyone's like want like an influencer or I don't know. It just felt really
There's
super.
no
It felt
famous
like
people on the.
it feels
All
like
right.
MTV. It feels like MTV would
Oh
make
boy.
Big Bro.
Oh boy.
That's just me. I agree with Todd. But I mean, Alex, you've been watching. You just no, Alex binged and finished the entire UK season of the Traitors in 1 week.
I mean, I
So what do
believe
you
it.
think?
I mean, this is true.
Because
So no, it has nothing to do. It's not trashy. To all out, I mean, there's drama, but it's justified drama. It's basically people accusing other people of being traitors and trying to figure out who a traitor is and get them out so you can win the money. But like the challenges are all fine. No one's trying to sabotage any challenges. Everyone's trying to work together to win.
it's like a witch hunt.
But it's more it's as if you played the game of Werewolf, but you made it into a TV show and you added challenges and but like they're not all living together in this house. They all go home to like their own hotel rooms after. They don't talk to each other. They see each other at breakfast. You know, I don't know if the trailer was the right move.
Yeah. Because Alex is right. Like the interaction is solely related to the game. Like there are social times which are like open and free for people to like chat, but that's where they're all playing the game. Like that's, you know, before they get to the round table, seeing what groups are saying who about what. But there is no like we're hanging out like and like doing our thing and like there's no real interpersonal drama. But like the breakfast is amazing because the breakfast is like you know, you have the round table, Tom, where everyone's going to vote on who a traitor is, and they get kicked out whether they are or not. And that's where they reveal, like, are they a faithful or a traitor? But then after that, the traitors get to go kill someone overnight. And the next morning, it's revealed who's killed by breakfast. And people show up to this. First of all, I want to go on this show just to eat this breakfast. They just have this incredible spread, Tom, of food at this. Like, it looks great. I would
that
stay
was
at
in
this
the
hotel.
trailer.
But that what'll happen is people will come in like groups of 2 or 3 at a time, and you're like, as more people arrive, we're like, oh fuck, there's only 5 people left. Who's not showing up to breakfast? And then you get down to like, oh, there's only 2 or 3 people left. The door opens and someone's missing, and everyone goes, "Aw, it's so
funny.
fucking good."
I don't know if
Yeah,
you saw
I think we'll get around to it.
we'll get around. Yeah, it'll
we'll
be
get
summer
around
by
to
the
it.
time they fucking unbelievable.
Hopefully, Alex, they bring the UK one faster. Hopefully, it's there in like a month because it's almost over already. Because they've been airing it 3 episodes a week. So, speaking of what we've been watching, I started Lessons in Chemistry.
Don't know it.
It's Brie Larson show on Apple TV.
Oh yes, I've seen. I saw
Okay.
trailers for it last year.
It's very good. It's very good. It's very like
What's it about?
It's a drama. She plays like a brilliant scientist in the 60s, but she's not actually a scientist because she's a woman, so she wasn't able like to get her PhD for certain reasons. So she's just like a lab tech, and it's about like her
Wait, but in
relationship
the
with this other
60s, is that true?
scientist. It was either 50, I don't know when it is, 50s or 60s.
Okay.
And it wasn't that it was impossible to get. I mean, they make it part of the show, so I can't really tell you anything more than that. Yeah, but they're both brilliant. And it's about how she ends up like going down a career as like a TV star. She becomes like they're making a character that sort of like invents like food chemistry. So she becomes this like TV chef, but she's doing it through the lens of like science. It's like it's very good. It's it's a drama though, so it's both like been like really heartwarming and then other times like kind of tragic. So it's good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say this one thing about, because I already told you guys, but for the listeners, I'm watching Monarch, Legacy of Monsters.
Yes.
And for anyone who's watching it and wants to comment, the only thing I'm gonna say is there's 3 actors that are not great, and there are the other actors that are really good, and it makes it I don't know if it's the writing too during those scenes versus the other scenes, but Wyatt, Kurt Russell, and a couple other actors make that show, and a couple other actors bring that show down.
Oh boy.
That's
Godzilla.
awesome. What?
Godzilla just not bringing it performance-wise for you this show.
I mean, I would spoil something, but
He's got a flaccid Godzilla.
no, it's more that is this a spoiler? I don't know.
I don't know.
This
We
might be a
couldn't
spoiler,
possibly-
but
Beep, 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 beep.
yeah, it starts with a beep, 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 beep. But Godzilla doesn't really show up.
It's
that
not a
much.
spoiler.
All
It's
right, doesn't really
very
show up that
obvious from the
much.
marketing that.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is-
Barely in the show.
I mean, it's like it's Legacy of Monsters, right? Like it's about.
I get it, and I
It's
get
about
the
all
whole
of them.
point. I do get that, like, the problem with having Titans, these huge monsters, is that they can't be around for too long in a scene because they're just so destructive. Either you run away or they kill everything. So there's not much to do there, and I get that. And it's like you have to either kill it now or kill it later or whatever. But the in-between stuff, right, is, like I said, some of the acting and some of the scenes are great, and you're like, oh, can we get back to that shit? And then some of the scenes, you're like, this is terrible. Stop doing this. And a lot of motivations, like you think a couple of characters are like, I'm going to do X. And then they're like, okay, I changed my mind. And it's like, no, I'm still going to do X. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to do X. No, make up your fucking mind.
That sounds almost like a scripting problem, which is a huge
Yes.
I think,
Which is what I was trying to say, was like, is it
Yeah.
the writing of these characters
it's
as well?
probably a mix of both. I saw the first episode and I was like, there's so much good TV out here that this is just not doing it for me. But
Yeah. Fair enough.
yeah, and there was no Kurt Russell in episode 1. Spoiler alert. Beep 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 beep.
Yep.
Don't need
Uh,
Kerry Russell.
I mean, if you get the third Russell in there, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
get her in
Yeah.
there.
Or who's the Russell from Survivor?
Hans?
Yeah, get Russell Hanson.
Jesus.
yeah, no
Can
idea.
you imagine? Can you imagine?
But yeah, if it's a situation like that, it sounds like they might not be getting the best scripts, which honestly, from the fucking movies that what they've made,
Yeah.
that's just consistent with these American. I think watching Godzilla -1 really put a lot of things in perspective of the quality of writing and storytelling that we're getting with these American monster movies versus
Yep.
You got to watch
So anyway.
Shin Godzilla now.
I do. It's been on my list for years, and I definitely want to get around to watching that one too, for sure. And then I'll rank it.
Yeah, perfect. Then we'll rank.
And then we'll rank the Godzillas in all the different ways.
That's perfect. Tom, do we
Mm.
have anything else? Anyone else watch anything else? See anything else they want to talk about? Or should we move on to some news?
I think we can move on.
All right. News me.
News me. All right, we got a couple of big news stories this week. The first one, was this last week? Did we talk about the new Halo stuff last week? How they're getting rid of the seasons?
We did.
Did
We
we?
talked about it
No,
last
you
week?
sent that like over the weekend or like on Monday.
Oh, really?
Well, Halo's getting rid of its season format. They've been doing these operations things, which are like these like shorter like bursts of content. That is going to be what they do moving forward. They have one more upcoming season 5, but that will be the last one. And it's just going to be operations from then on out. They showed off a new map called CU29, which looked pretty cool. I don't know if you guys got around to seeing this, but
No, not yet.
It's a symmetrical map. It is like an experimental laboratory thing. But the cool thing is that there is a hallway, like a corridor that goes down the middle, and it will, I don't know if someone has to activate it or not, or if it's timed, but at points, if you're in the corridor, you'll be cloaked. and so like you can go in there and be cloaked and pop out the other side, and there's like multiple entrances and stuff to it. So it looks pretty cool. Definitely, definitely. I think it comes out next week. Excited to throw down in that one. But yeah, it seems like Halo Infinite, obviously, we've known this for a while, but they're working on other Halo games. Seems like they're winding down the big scope of it being this everlasting project, and they're just gonna keep it going for which, at this point, I'm just glad that it has at least some life in it because we have so much fun playing it.
That's true.
And it seems, they're adding the Mark IV armor, which comes from the Halo Wars series that people seem to be really excited about. More of the, I think, like the shoulder pads now are cross armor, so that there's more customization. So yeah. Speaking of Microsoft, though, and just the industry in general. So Tuna, I don't know how plugged in Tuna is. I mean, Chris, obviously, like you don't use Twitter anymore. How plugged you guys are into the state of the gaming industry?
It's still relatively
right.
But...
Tuna, are you plugged in at all to the layoff situation in gaming that's happening right now?
Headlines on Reddit.
Sure. Oh, on Reddit, sure. So last year, around roughly, because we don't obviously have full numbers, but around 10,000 people in the gaming industry lost their jobs, which was pretty much a record for the industry. We this year alone in January, and granted, January is a big month for layoffs because it's right after the holidays. Like a lot of companies get their layoffs done in January, but we're already like at 6,000 this
That's
month
so
alone.
crazy.
Which is and Microsoft being the biggest one right now, they have cut 1,900 jobs. Granted, this is obviously in part to do with the fact that the gaming climate is very different from, there was exponential growth during COVID because of how many people were at home, and a lot of these companies scaled up very quickly, and now they're having to scale down. And the Microsoft thing is a combination of that and the fact that they bought Activision Blizzard. So leadership views there being redundancies in position. So a lot of the people that have lost their jobs at Microsoft, the 1,900, are from Activision Blizzard. But there have been some other Xbox teams affected. But yeah, there's that. Riot has laid off 500 people alone. And the Embracer Group continues to cull teams. It's pretty freaking bleak and brutal. Hopefully, though, when the dust is all settled, we have a much healthier industry that is able to, like, the next time the opportunity to ramp up happens and like grow. Because the thing is the industry is still growing. It just like has receded from the massive bump but it's still like the gaming industry is bigger than it was in 2019, right? Like it's still grown. So it's really none of this
it's overgrowth. It's sort of like an overcorrection.
Yes,
except for the fact that like it shouldn't work like this. Like people's jobs shouldn't be the ones that have to pay for it. It should be like the CEOs who make the mistakes, who are still getting bonuses probably while everyone else is losing their jobs. But that being said, it's an overcorrection, I assume.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick getting tens of millions of dollars to leave Activision, right? Like the amount of money that I mean, granted, this is all contracts, right? This is nefarious in a way that it's not like surface level, there's bad guys here and there. It's just like the way this industry works. Like if you're at that level, you have a stipulation in your contract that's like, if I get fired, like I get tens of millions of dollars, and that's how that works. And so like the money he got paid out could have paid for a year's salary for all of these fucking employees, but the system is just so fucked. And that's
I saw
right?
There was like a website
everything.
like video game
layoffs or something.
Videogamelayoffs.com, I think.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's pretty. I mean, hopefully this just leads to unionization.
I agree.
Game industry layoffs. Jesus.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the positive things that is coming out. On the media side of things, there's obviously been layoffs as well at a lot of media companies, like Business Insider just had layoffs. LA Times just had massive layoffs. One of the things about this Microsoft one is that there are several entities under Microsoft that have organized, right, have union contracts now. No one that has in a position of union in a union position has apparently been affected, which is great because like the LA Times thing is like totally like just union busting practices. Yeah, I mean unionization is never gonna stop layoffs. We would need a complete rework of how like our economy and like businesses work for something like that to happen. But unionization can protect you. It can guarantee you things like severance. It can guarantee you things like healthcare and stuff. So, and the way in which you get fired and let go has to happen in a certain way.
But
and so
those things can
protect
mitigate
you.
layoffs because the entertainment industry,
100%.
right, with film and TV and streaming, it's the same exact thing with game industry. These companies, these production studios, they hire up for like 8 months and they're like, well, we're just going to fire everyone because we don't need all these people for the next 3 months. And then we'll just hire new people.
Right.
When they could and should just keep people on and find other things for them to do, because of the fact that like if they had to pay severance out for 2 months, then they shouldn't do that because they're not going to save any money
exactly
doing this, right?
And my big worry, and it won't probably be as big of a bump as COVID, but I'm partly worried about the effect that GTA is going to have, because it will have a big spike, right? Like the gaming, like
because
especially on the
when they're
media
done
side,
with GTA, they don't need all those people.
not necessarily like Rockstar laying off a bunch of people with GTA, especially because GTA 6 will also, have an online thing. I mean more like how many new consoles are going to be sold because of GTA, which means that people are going to buy other games, which means that sales of other things have spiked. On the media side of things, like coverage,
we'll also have the new Switch out.
I'm worried about like our ability, I keep telling people, I'm like, we need to hire up because like if we want to cover this game in the way that like we want to get it covered, like we need more people. But I don't want it to be a case of those people get hired and then 6 months in, like it's like, oh, there's a deluge. So yeah. Anyway, it sucks. It's not the end. In fact, by the end of this year, 2023 might look like a blip compared to how the amount of layoffs we have. But
oh boy,
we'll have to wait and see and how long this lasts. And then I guess the final news story for the day is obviously Palworld has been a huge explosion. They've sold 8 million copies. It was the last big milestone on Steam alone. That's not counting sales on Xbox. It's not counting how many people are playing it via Game Pass. They became the second most played game on Steam. It's beat out like Call of Duty. It's beat out Fortnite. Is Fortnite on Steam?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I
think if you used to have it on Steam for a long time, it was the same thing with like Fall Guys. You would still get access to updates and stuff. But I don't think you could get it anymore unless you already had it.
So currently it is the most played game on Steam. It has right now it has over 1.1 million players. The next highest played game on Steam right now is Counter-Strike 2, which is under half of that. And then you have like Dota 2, PUBG, Baldur's Gate. And then all-time, let's see, all-time chart is PUBG Battlegrounds is at number 1. So PUBG Battlegrounds was at 3.2 million concurrents, which is, I don't know if Palworld's ever going to get close, but Palworld is at 2 million all-time concurrents, which beats out Counter-Strike, beats out Dota, beats out Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Hogwarts, Baldur's Gate, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Fallout. Like,
that's wild.
Has taken gaming by storm. And huge part of the discussion is whether this game has stolen assets from Nintendo, because obviously so many of the designs of the creatures very much look like designs from
But is it just
Pokemon.
inspired, or do they think like they actually are using like because there's you can't like necessarily copyright the style, you know?
Right.
Which of course, like if they could have, Nintendo would have sued the other 100,000 games that have tried to do what Pokemon has done.
Nintendo would have sued a cat because
Yeah.
Shinx, because the cat stole Shinx's look.
Well, Disney would, but Nintendo, as litigious as they are, they don't usually go after people that didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, so
Don't buy it.
so where we're at with it right now.
Like they
is
usually even leave fan games alone until people start promoting them.
until it
Like the
gets too
second
big,
people
right?
start promoting it or it gets big
Yeah.
or anyone's like, I'm doing a Patreon, they're like, all right, this is gone. Like if you just kept it quiet to yourself and your like community, like they
Right.
traditionally don't say anything.
But obviously there has been this game is not small, it is big.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of misinformation out there. Someone posted showing that the wire meshes for the characters are not the same, but like the proportions of the models are like near identical, and developers saying it's impossible to get results this close without like you have been basically using the model as a base to work from.
Interesting.
But then something came out where it turns out that person was scaling models, so there's questions as to like how valid that is. Needless to say, it's a wait and see situation. No one needs to defend the
Yeah.
IP of a multi-billion-dollar company. No one honestly needs to defend Palworld, because if they haven't done anything wrong, then they won't get in trouble. Like Nintendo is not going to sue them unless they actually pulled some illegal shit.
We also don't need to like root for them to like sue them like this some fucking
No,
like this is just like fanboy shit. Like
yeah,
come
it's
on.
so stupid. So just enjoy Palworld if you're enjoying it. There's other games to play if
Yeah.
you don't want to play it because it's too much like Pokemon or the vibes aren't for you. But I do want to read you. The Pokemon Company did post
Oh, okay.
something. I want to
Here we go.
read you this verbatim. First half is like normal shit. The second half is like you guys are just smoking something else on that part of the
Oh,
world.
boy.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. The Pokemon Company. So they're on it, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah,
They're going
there you go.
to continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon in this world, including Burmy.
This also, by the way,
including
I
Burmy.
think this is Nintendo. I mean, it could be wrong. Like if it is a situation, because I haven't actually looked at it, but if it is a situation where they're actually just like using assets or it is like really blatant, it's not like we are, you know, inspired by Pokemon, but we are actually like just ripping off Pokemon and mixing and matching, then it's real. But my guess is this is a like the Pokemon Company and Nintendo would like people to stop bringing up Pokemon around this game with guns.
Right.
I think that they don't want their fans to know about it. They don't want other people. They don't want their brand mixed with it. So I think they're like, well, let's put out a statement so maybe people will just shut the hell up, is what that actually sounds like to me.
I think that's what it is. I think that is what it is. I don't think this is necessarily them saying like we do think there's been wrongdoing. I just think this is like they are like,
we got it.
We got it. We know what's up. We know this game exists. We've known this game has existed. We're on it. So yeah.
That's so funny. Anything else?
News-wise, no. We're good on the news. Yeah, sorry.
Tom got a important message there, Tuna.
No. It's yeah.
Well, I think we should go into our head-to-head. What do you say? Tuna just sent me his file.
Yeah, let's do
got
it.
Loaded up. Let's do it. All right.
Here we go.
So last week, we had, as you saw in the promo the intro for the episode, we have a tie break between Tuna and I. The way it's going to work is same as last week: most kills, least deaths, take plus minus there, get your spread. Winner, chicken dinner. If we are tied on that, then we compare assists. So assists come into play if we also once again have a tie. I think not. I don't feel great about mine this week, but we'll see. We'll see. I had major yips the first day I played Tuna. I was negative the first like 3 games I played, and I was like, all right, and I just put the controller down and walked away. So the first 2 times I attempted this, I had very bad games. The second time I kept joining mid-match. So it's like, and then I was like gonna quit, and then you're gonna get banned. You do that too many times.
Right. Yep.
It's a thing, man. How you feeling?
I feel good.
Okay. Do you have an idea as to what we're gonna do if you win?
I've been rolling some ideas in my head. We'll see how you guys feel about it.
All right. Well, here we go.
Here we go. That's if I win. We're not sure yet.
Oh, Christ on a cracker.
I messed up the export, but it works.
I was so confused.
I'll fix this for the recorded version.
All right.
Tuna's really getting stuck in here.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris! Oh! Nice,
Tuna,
Chris.
Tuna, what are you?
I can't read it.
I messed up the export. Wait, let's see. Do you have?
You didn't just memorize it before we?
No, I forgot.
Well, you can watch
I'm
the
watching
video.
it. Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay.
I'm 26-5.
Holy sh!
26-5.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Chris, you didn't beat that.
Was that Team Slayer?
Yeah. Yes. If you want to go back, we can look back at the game. We can look back.
We don't
at the
need
footage.
to talk about my score.
What did you get?
5 deaths as well.
Okay.
So not bad. That's pretty good, honestly.
Same amount of deaths.
In some ways, I think that's the hardest thing to do. I got 13 and 5.
Okay.
I did worse than
Good.
last week. I week.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a respectable score, but Alex went on a
26 and 5?
rampage.
Literally.
So did you just hog the rocks? Were you just getting the power weapons?
No, I actually wasn't. I had the rockets at the beginning and I had the rockets at the end, but I was hogging the invincibility and invisibility, and
that's
I
amazing.
was just running around.
That's a performance.
Yep.
That is a strong win.
Mhm.
Wow.
26-5 is
That's incredible.
really good.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Not bad.
All
not
right.
bad.
Not too
Well-
shabby.
Or 2 shabs. So so this was the idea. I was thinking fastest to either get a coin in Mario or fastest to get a star in Mario. But then I was like, how can we record that?
Well, you can wait, which Mario?
Any Mario. I was thinking any Mario. I was thinking like Mario 64. Like enter the castle, get a star.
The Switch does have you can record the last 30 seconds.
30 seconds is like.
I mean,
Do I have access to Mario 64?
Did you not grab it when it was
I don't
part
think
of
I
that?
bought it in time.
Do you have Switch Online?
I can't remember if I did. I have Switch Online.
Yeah, so you can play 64 via Switch Online.
Oh, I can play the actual N64 version, not the.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, see, that's a problem. There could be frame rate. There could be issues.
Or we
with
can
that.
pick any version though of Mario.
Well, that was the idea. It was like the fastest to get a star, or the fastest to get a coin
From what?
in Mario.
Yeah, but like from what? Booting the game up?
Booting
like...
the game up, booting
Okay.
it up. boot the game, or press the start
Into
button.
a save or a new save or
Oh, yeah, these are all good questions. They're all good questions that I didn't consider.
See, I feel like, do you want to just pick
What?
a specific level so that we're all playing the same thing and seeing who does the best? Because it is possible, like, one of us could just do the research, like, on like
Okay,
which
wait, I got a
times
better
like
idea.
are the
Okay.
shortest.
I got
and
a better
then-
idea. I got a better idea. I got a better idea. Got a better idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the fastest. I'm gonna pick a course
Yeah.
in Mario Kart,
Okay.
and we're gonna do the. I'm not sure what course yet
Okay.
because I
Okay.
haven't booted up Mario Kart in a long
This
time.
is sick.
But we're gonna do the
How about it?
fastest 3-lap. Go.
Okay, you're gonna pick the
Okay.
course.
I'm gonna pick the course, and I
Yeah.
think we're just gonna do time trial. Like we're not gonna do items. We're not gonna do random.
yeah.
Oh, no
Bullshit.
enemies. Okay.
No enemies. So it's just
Pure.
the fastest you can get it.
Pure racing.
Mario. Pure pod racing. So this is gonna be
This is
pure
great.
pod. So this is yeah. So we'll do the only thing is, should we do the best lap or do the best overall?
It's your choice.
No, best overall. Well,
Why don't we do best
it is your
overall,
choice.
and then if we tie, you
All
go
right,
by the
whoever has the
fastest lap.
fastest
Tie.
lap.
Who's
Yeah.
tie in the milliseconds? All right.
I
sure.
mean, it can happen.
All right. So we'll do I'll pick a course, and then we'll do that.
All right, and this is gonna be a Mario 8
The Mario 8.
Deluxe. Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. I think
And
that's great.
I mean, that even if you can't record the whole thing, it still saves your best thing, right? Probably does.
Yeah.
Knowing Nintendo, they love records.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Nintendo
either way,
loves
you can
records.
record the last 30 seconds.
All right.
So the second
All
like
right,
it
so I'll
ends and you
pick-
see the time, you record the last
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah. I'll pick the yeah. And this is one that the listeners, if you play Mario Kart 8, will post. Tom will post it in the Discord. I'm giving you some work to do.
Yeah,
Tom
Tuna,
will
what if
post
you?
it.
Yeah, you do it.
No, I don't know how. Tom will post in the Discord what course we're doing. It'll be 2 weeks from today, and I'll
Okay.
pick the course by the end of the night.
Okay, we'll do this. Send Alex
Yeah.
right after I finish talking. You're gonna tell us later. Just send me a voice message. Send me a voice message, and I'll add it into that part of the episode for tomorrow. So right.
The course we're gonna play is Dragon Driftway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
You will have just told everyone what course we're playing.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
Now you record later when you decide what it is, just on your phone, send me a voice message, and then I'll add it
Oh.
to that spot that I just said. So you're going to say, and the course
Well, maybe
is,
I'll just-
and then that's on the episode.
All right, fine.
There we go. Great. So everybody knows. Anyone listening to this now, will when you're listening to it,
Yeah.
Well,
we'll
no, you'll know.
Great. Great. Let's. By the way, I think with the head-to-head challenges, like they should always be like these specific parameters, so that like we're always playing the same mode. Because I think that makes the challenge more pure, right?
More pure.
Because like you're like it's kind of like trying to get through those really tough fucking platforming challenges in Prince of Persia, where it's like you just keep playing it over.
I thought
and
that's
over
what
and
you were
over
gonna
again
do,
until you
Tuna.
kind of
I
get.
thought you were gonna pull
Oh.
a Prince of Persia or something, but here we are.
Oh, the
No,
clawing.
because I don't want to mess with my save file.
Yeah, I got you. No, I understand why you haven't, but
No,
Yeah, you can copy your save file, but
No.
there's no timer. You know, it's the
Oh,
thing.
wait a second. So I just realized there's different time trials. There's like 150cc, 200cc. I think we
Right.
go for the limit.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
push it
you-
to the limit.
you want to do
Okay.
200cc is fast.
Yeah. Well, what are we, fucking noobs?
All right, I'm just saying
All
that
right.
it might take a little.
I
getting
think
used
that's
to
good.
if
I
you
think
haven't
that's
played
going to
200cc.
introduce a level of
Sure.
No,
you know.
fine.
No,
Alex, I think you should do
Junior.
it. I think you should do 200 for sure.
All right. I mean, that's what I wanted to do, but Tom was being like,
No,
"Yeah,
I
but
just
you
wanted to
knew."
make sure you knew what you were
Tom
saying.
plays this game a lot. You and I don't play. Tom,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
if
expecting
the
not
three
to
of us
win, but-
played head to head, like if we race, I think Tom
Yeah.
would win.
Yeah,
because
I'm
he
sure.
plays more Mario
play a
Kart.
lot.
So I think by him having to be challenged on 200, it's going to help
That
even the
is-
playing field a little bit
yes,
for
it
us.
will even the playing field for sure.
I mean, you're acting as if we didn't play Mario Kart all the time when we were kids.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
we didn't
have
play 200.
Yeah, you didn't have 200 cc.
200 never existed.
Well, and back in my day, we didn't need 200.
50 cc. 50
Yeah,
cc.
back in my day, it started at 15
5
cc.
yeah 5
Yeah.
cc. That's all you needed.
You had to use your feet like the Flintstones to get it going.
Inflation. It's 200 cc. It used to only be 5 cc back in my day.
Oh no, the American accent is back.
Ah, howdy.
Powder.
Oh,
Oh,
a little
What?
behind
Oh.
the curtain there.
well, I meant to share computer audio, and then I shared the podcast soundboard inside by accident.
Oh my God.
All right, well, that's another episode in the books. The 412th episode of the Unranked podcast. Thank you again for joining us. I look forward to seeing if anyone decides to play along in head-to-heads, and to playing a little bit more Mario Kart. Because when I played it with my niece recently, it was a lot of fun, but I didn't enjoy playing purposefully bad, so she didn't feel bad at it. So that'll be a good time, and we'll see you next time. Stay unranked.
Wait, do I own Mario Kart a lot?
Suck it.
You do. We've played Mario Kart
There's
Switch.
no way you don't own that.
We've played
They sold
Mario Kart
50
Switch.
million.
It's not on my Switch.